Wow, I spent that much this year. Serious about a no-buy year? If I was doing a no-spend challenge in 2025, these would be my no-spend rules. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sandy, an accountant turned home organizer who has spent the last 15 years consciously under-consuming. And in this video, I'm going to share my personal no-spend rules and guidelines. And if you stick with me to the end, I'll share exactly what I spent on myself this year in discretionary purchases. Spoiler alert, it wasn't completely a no-spend year for me, but I'll reveal what I bought and exactly how much I spent. It's all in a spreadsheet. This will give you a good idea on how you can apply no-buy to your life in practice. Let's get into it. Naturally, I like things to be organized, so I'll share my rules according to these categories. Oh, and before I get into the list, just know that I've been on this journey for a while, which means I'm used to living this way of life. You're going to see a trend here. It's not a secret, but the key to a successful no-buy year is to say this one word when faced with a buying decision. You'll figure it out by the end of the video. Personal care. First up is personal care items. Makeup, skincare, perfumes, and lotions all fit within this first category. If I was going to do a no-buy year, I would not purchase any new makeup, skincare, or lotions unless I ran out of my existing stock. As a general rule, I don't stockpile any of these items. Duplicates are a no-no for me, and I will purchase a replacement only when I'm at the end of a product. Even when I'm near empty or at the end of a product, I found at least 2 weeks of product is left when I scrape the bottom of the bottles. Right now, I have these 3 lip balms. I've had this lip mask that I use at night since before 2018. It's lasted a long time, and it continues to serve me well. This is a daily one I love to use. And finally, this is a new one that came included with the gift set box of replacement skincare I bought. I don't purchase perfumes because I'm highly sensitive to smells. I also don't own any at all, and I don't plan to purchase any in the future either. The next category is clothing, shoes, and accessories. For a no-buy year, I would not purchase any clothing whatsoever. I already have everything I need, and in some categories like jeans, I have multiples like 4 pairs. With how frequently I wear jeans, these will last me a very long time. You might notice all of these are skinny jeans and don't match the current fashion trends. I'm okay with this. I'm not worried about the fashion police, and I don't keep up or really pay attention to the fast fashion trends. It's never really been a priority in my life, so it works for me. If I ruin a piece of clothing, which is far more likely than wearing something out, I'll consider replacing the item, but only if it's a staple, like a classic white t-shirt. And before ever replacing an item, I think about it, like I'd research where I'd like to purchase the item from. I'd make sure the company aligns with my own personal values. So basically, I'd take my time in replacing the item. When you slow down the buying process, you are far less likely to make an impulse buy. I've lumped shoes and accessories in this category because I pretty much feel the same way I do about these as I do clothing. I don't need anything new. I don't plan for my feet to change, so my existing shoes will support my needs through all the seasons. For accessories like bags and handbags, I have plenty, so there is no need to buy anything new. And for accessories like jewelry, I'm allergic to nickel, so costume jewelry is out for me. So I've pretty much stayed away from jewelry most of my life, and everything I already own covers me for the basics, so I won't be buying any jewelry pieces. This next category is a bit of a touchy subject in today's digital age. It's tech products. For me, unless my phone or laptop breaks, I will not be making any tech purchases. I'm not the type of person that buys products when a newer version is launched. Even if the new model has fancy bells and whistles, I'm good with my existing tech. It's a way of life for me to be a late adopter when it comes to tech. For example, I had a Razr flip phone until 2013, even though the tech came out in 2004. And I didn't get my first smartphone until 2014. Memberships. If no buy was on the table for me, I wouldn't put myself on the hook for any monthly memberships where reoccurring fees are paid. Some examples are gym memberships, and massage services. And no, I'm not including streaming services here. We'll get into that in a different category. Absolutely, health is important, but over the years, I've built up my own memberships of sorts in my own home. I've owned these dumbbells since about 2004. Geez, that's like 20 plus years. And I've added weights to the set as I've grown stronger. Most recently, in 2020, I got this set, which has sustained my fitness needs. Plus, I do a lot of walking outside or on this walking pad, which I also got in 2020. I love a good massage, but if I was going to do a no-buy year, I'd skip over massage memberships. You're only really getting a discount if you go, and each time you go, it's customary to tip your service provider, which is more money out the door. So this is another area I don't spend my money. The next category is similar but different, and it's subscriptions. These could include magazine subscriptions, beauty boxes, tea boxes, and book subscriptions, to name a few. I don't buy any of these, and here's why. First off, if you have a library card, you likely already get magazines for free, both current and past issues. So there isn't a good reason for me to get a physical copy at my front door each month, which is the benefit of having a subscription. Plus, accumulating all that paper would be yet another thing to declutter after consuming it. Beauty boxes have become extremely popular in the past years. Sephora had one, and so did several other popular companies. On a monthly basis, they would release a box containing secret trial-size beauty items. In theory, it was a great way to discover new products and try something out before spending money on a full-sized item. In reality, the items accumulated, adding to the mountain of clutter already in a home. Turns out very few items were used up in the boxes, and most of the time, the products expired before ever being used. That's why consumables like beauty boxes and tea subscriptions are a no-go for me. And I love tea too. The last example is a book subscription. Books are deeply personal, covering a wide range of genres. So personally, a book subscription would not be a draw for me. Plus, with access to all the books I'd ever want at the library, there wouldn't be a justifiable need for a book of the month subscription box. This next category is a bit controversial. It's services. These are the services I don't purchase on a yearly basis. I don't buy facials, get manis or pedis, and get my hair colored. While I understand many people enjoy these services, I generally do not. So I don't spend my money on it. Plus, with hair coloring, it's a lot of upkeep and maintenance, and I've decided a long time ago I was done with dyeing my hair, like in 2018. I don't get my lashes tinted or apply fake ones. It's not something that fits my personal lifestyle. I also don't pay for waxing or threading services. The only service I can't do myself is cutting hair, and even for this service, I might go once a calendar year. Food and beverages. When you eat a plant-based diet, low histamine, low sodium, and anti-inflammatory diet, it's kind of difficult to eat out, so I don't usually do it. Don't get me wrong, I love eating out and trying out new restaurants, but with my restricted diet and with my limited options in my area that fit my food criteria, I'd rather eat at home. If I said, you have to drive, wait when you get there, and it won't be anything I can eat according to my diet, plus pay a premium, why would I ever say yes to eating out? I wouldn't, and so I don't eat out unless it's necessary during travel or a special occasion. The same applies to beverages at restaurants and coffees. The markup on drinks other than water is sky high at a restaurant, and I'm not doing it. Coffees outside my home are a big no-no for me unless I'm traveling away from home, and even then, it's painful to grab a coffee. Recently on a trip to Seattle, a 16-ounce double-shot latte set me back $9. Unless I'm on vacation, no thank you. Now, the point of my no-buy isn't to go without coffee, so if I can't make it at home because I'm traveling, then this is an area I'd bend the rules. Likewise, if you're going on a no-sugar diet for a year, I'd personally bend the rules on my birthday. I'm gonna eat birthday cake. There's a place for rigidity, but just not when it comes to coffee. While we're still on beverages, I don't spend anything on alcohol either. Not when I'm eating out or ever. I learned in college that I'm allergic, so I live a sober life by choice. To this day, I've never tried food delivery services like DoorDash or Uber Eats. I don't even have the app, so I don't spend the money here either. And finally, I don't buy fresh herbs from the grocery store. I grow my own, and if you didn't know already, it's very easy to propagate common herbs like mint and basil on your windowsill or in a small pot outside. Simply add cuttings to water with a lot of sunlight. Home decor and home goods. I already have everything I need. No throw pillows, no more throws and blankets. I'm covered in the bedding department, probably for life. For seasonal decor, other than a Christmas tree and lights for Halloween and Christmas, I don't buy it. I know it's tempting, and yes, it's pretty and festive to have matching Santa mugs and placemats, but it's not something that really adds value to my life. Now on to entertainment. I don't go to the movies, and if I do watch TV, I get access from my local library. That means I have to plan in advance and place a hold on a DVD. But it suits me just fine because I haven't watched all the popular series that have come and gone like Lost or 24 or even Game of Thrones. If you've been around here for a while, you know that I'm obsessed with the public library system and all the books I can get access to. In addition to physical books, I can get ebooks for my Kindle, or even without a Kindle, I can get access to ebooks on the Kindle app and on other resources like Libby, Cloud Library, and Hoopla. There's absolutely no reason for me to buy any books, physical, audio, or digital, so if no buy was on the table for me, this is an area where I can easily say no. And the final subcategory of entertainment is streaming services. You've already guessed it, I don't pay for streaming services, whether it's Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, or any of the other ones that exist out there. Since I'm not someone who likes watching a lot of TV and movies, this is an area that's easy to cut. Plus, if I'm in the mood to watch something, I would utilize the resources available to me at the public library. For example, I can stream movies on Hoopla or Canopy for free through my local library. Now, the final category of items I wouldn't buy in a no-buy year is hobbies. This means I wouldn't be spending any money on crafting supplies, but would use any existing supplies that I already own and can use up. I do paint from time to time, and I have more than enough supplies to carry me through the next several years. Plus, I have plenty of journaling supplies, so no need for pens and notebooks. My job is to use up what I already have at my disposal. That was a long list of categories where many spend their disposable income. Okay, now on to what I actually spent money on myself this year in a year where I wasn't necessarily committing to buy nothing. I'm breaking out my spend by category. In the personal care category, I purchased skincare products to replace what I used up. I had an old stick concealer I wanted to sharpen, so I bought a sharpener for the thicker than normal shape. I tried a new product this year, which is a clear brow gel. Previously, I had one that was a sample size that was tinted that I didn't particularly like. And finally, I purchased an eyebrow pencil in black, which is a better match than the medium brown I already have. Technically, I wasn't replacing an item, so this purchase wouldn't meet my no-buy rule. In total, within the personal care category, I spent $76. For the clothing category, I did purchase a pair of pants and a top for an event because I needed something comfortable that would fit me. At the time of the event, I was carrying some extra pounds and didn't have an alternative. In the shoe category, I did make two purchases. I got a pair of flip-flops for the beach to replace old ones, and I purchased some sandals that had ankle support since I broke my ankle last year. The grand total for two pairs of shoes is $56.94. I always wanted a belt bag, so when Costco had one, I picked it up. Admittedly, this was an impulse buy. It was on my wish list, but it wasn't a must-have. This set me back $14.99. This year, I did purchase a new Kindle tech device. It was replacing my old one that would no longer hold a charge. I also bought a case for the Kindle because I'm very clumsy and I wanted to protect my Kindle to keep my investment safe and sound. The combined total for tech and accessories is $94.68. The final category I spent money on is entertainment. Here's the breakdown. For books, I bought 3 digital ebooks that I couldn't get from the library for a reasonable wait time, which in my book is 6 months. I also bought 1 brand new book, which was one of my top reads of the year, Divine Rivals, which cost $8.95 for a hardcover book. I loved the book so much that I wanted to make handwritten notes and add highlights to a physical copy. As someone who frequents the library, I did come across used books for sale and purchased 5 total used books, costing a total of $2.25. 2 of the books I could have gotten from the library instead of buying them for $1. So it was an impulse buy. When I purchased my Kindle, I did get 2 months of free Kindle Unlimited for the first time ever, which I really enjoyed. When my 2 months ran out, I did renew for 2 additional months at a cost of $11.99 each month, but I have since canceled the membership. In total, my book entertainment purchases equals $54.13. For hobby entertainment, I bought a set of intro gouache paints. In honesty, this was an impulse purchase. I've always wanted to paint with gouache, but never allowed myself to purchase a set of paints. And now that I have them, I haven't used them. This is on my list to try and get into in 2025. The set of paints set me back $19.99. And rounding out my spending, I bought a nib and ink so that I could continue my journaling practice when my carpal tunnel syndrome was at its worst. I wasn't able to use my existing pens without pain, so I felt justified on buying the nib plus ink, which didn't aggravate my writing hand. The grand total in 2024 was $364.09. To further summarize my spending, this is the breakdown by category and percentage. On average, this means I spent about $1 a day in personal discretionary spending during a year where I didn't set out to make it a no-buy year. If I made it my goal to make 2025 a no-buy year, I know I could get even closer to 0. Now that I've run down the no-buy rules and what I've personally spent myself, you should have a good idea on how a no-spend year works in real life. But even though this video is pretty thorough in going over the rules, none of this matters if you don't apply these concepts for a successful no-buy year. If you're ready to get started and want some more inspiration, check out this video on my No Buy 2025 challenge. Plus, grab my No Buy success guide in the link in my description. It's everything you need for a successful no buy year.